What is up YouTube and welcome back to another RiftGuides WildRift video. It's time for some Kayle mid lane. Let's dive into the secrets of, well, Kayle mid lane and how to play it, what to avoid, and how to specifically maneuver it just to make sure that you have the biggest advantage, or rather that you have the ability to even survive the laning phase. If there's one thing that many people do wrong to this day, is actually maxing the wrong spells on Kayle. The best spell to max the first is your first ability. The reason for this is relatively simple. It does way more damage than all of your other spells, and does so way more consistently than anything you have available to your kit. Your third ability is an execute, and putting points into it barely increases its damage. You gain like free on it damage as well as, I think, 1% higher scaling on the AP, so it's barely any benefit per point invested compared to your, for example, first ability, which is a slow a resistance reduction, and well, not only that one, it's AoE damage. So yeah, you see, it's quite the interesting spell. And before I continue with yapping on about Kayle, if you want to save big time on skins, check out my partners in the description below. They're also running a massive giveaway where all you have to do is join the Discord, add the accounts that are listed there, and then you become eligible to just automatically win a free skin. So if you want to get free skins, you better join there, and if you want to get skins cheaper, well, of course, you better join there as well. Anyway, back to the matchup here. Vladimir is not necessarily known for early aggression, so it's definitely not the hardest matchup for Kayle to survive early game, but this one can change relatively fast due to how much of a problem Vladimir turns into the moment he gets some levels. The biggest problem with this champion is simply the scaling of Vlad. Early game, like, Vlad has been nerfed so many times by Riot Games because this champion was just borderline broken in the past, that Riot put him into a spot where he is like all about scaling, not really has that many things. What the hell, Zinzao? Okay. I guess we can call the authorities on this one because we just witnessed a crime. And you see, the most damage Kayle can do is just utilizing her Q and her E. She even puts 2 points into the Q ability before she puts a point into the W. Then Zhao's getting absolutely jungle gapped horizoned because he does one thing that is very risky to do in jungle. Go for early ganks when you don't have your entire jungle cleared. The thing is, many people completely underestimate the power of a fast jungle clear. And when you look at Xin Zhao, he has a relatively fast jungle clear if he actually applies himself to do so. So that Hecarim should never be the one that out-clears the Xin Zhao, if I'm not mistaken. Xin Zhao should be faster. And yeah, in this case, Xin Zhao was a lot slower due to the early game investment he did, and then he just wasted some time. Oh, Ignite. And Vladimir Pool, there's the flash trade. That was really close. Yeah, and now we will just die. We can maybe use the ultimate to maybe clear the wave, but yeah, that's it. If there's any goal in this situation for the Kayle, it's not going to kill, it's not going to survive, it's going to clear the wave. If you don't plan on clearing the wave, ulting is a waste in this instant, like a very, very big waste, and you should not have done so. Luckily, like WildRift players being WildRift players, there's only like very few players who actively pay attention to wave states and how to punish the people with suboptimal states. So that's definitely something that we have to keep in mind. Especially when you play yourself, you'll notice so many times that people just barely play around waves. And it just doesn't make any sense. Oh, I just caught my cat jumping around. Got you. Now you're on my lap. My cat has zoomies again. So I need to calm her down a little bit. Okay, there's a Morgana, one of the not that eventful ganks, to say it like in a nice way. Not much happening there. Xin Zhao here for a gank. Vladimir unfortunately gets the recall off. Hecarim being spotted in the jungle again. Getting all in by the Zhao here, but he's kiting towards the Vladimir. Vladimir is now in the fight. If we get a kill back here, we have the big damage by the suck of Vladimir, but no real danger. Xin Zhao, you don't want camps? I get the feeling that the Xin Zhao might be autofilled. Because the Kayle had a better understanding of what to do. Or maybe he just didn't pay attention. You never know. Yeah, Xin Zhao is really not paying the most attention so far. That's what I can say. For sure. Poppy is having some trouble down there. Which is to be expected. Or maybe not even in the current state of Poppy. Should at least wait until Divine until it's actually a problem. Yeah, Vladimir just face checking for the fun of it. Low HP, has ult, is ulting one person, is 1 HP. Ulting on the Xin Zhao, the Kayle ultimate did so much work there. Xin Zhao still on 1 HP, now pops the ult finally, and the Ezreal ult kills the Kayle, which probably would have died to the Camille anyway. NPC 11016. That is a name I like to read. Damn, this Poppy Dash just went so far. I love WildRift. Do you love WildRift? Probably not. So. We have a big stacked wave in the very top lane, like bottom lane if you want to look at it in real terms. At least on the minimap it looks insanely huge. Now Kayle is forced to play against the dual lane, so not much will be done here. Just a lot of pain. A lot of unfortunate pain. Kayle doesn't have ultimate for another 15 seconds as of right now, which means she's not really ready to just be a factor in a fight. Xin Zhao goes in with the ultimate. Splits the fight apart, Hecarim getting lower and lower, just 1 HP, Kayle flashing over the wall, Ezreal dying as well, double kill for the Seraphine, however that is possible. Vladimir pulls the Jhin W to not get rooted. And yeah, the Vladimir however escapes this predicament, and the Morgana is already busy clearing the midway so the enemy can't get something out of their kills right now. But yeah, Morgana at this stage of the game, specifically on support, doesn't really do much. Like, she's on the weaker end, if anything. Doesn't really have the power to achieve something on her own. Just a Black Shield for the funsies, hopefully just shooting out like a Dark Binding here and there, which then eventually gets a root, and then the root will kill. That is the gameplay loop. Okay, now we are fighting against the Camille. We need to be mindful against fighting the Camille. Like, right now she doesn't have the HP, so she's most likely being forced to go base. But we don't really have that much damage right now. Shield being popped on the Camille. Kayle focusing the tower here. Tower goes down. Now the Kayle wants to run down the Camille. Unfortunate spacing mistake. Ults in immediately, wastes the ult because she doesn't want to place the ward. Will get punished for it, and it dies. Damn, that's tough. You know, one of the things when it comes to Kayle in this game, like, Kayle in general has the advantage of just being able to press ult, and with just pressing ult, she has insane value. The reason is the following. In many of your games, you will notice that people just constantly all in, going for the most weird plays you've like ever seen, and then Kayle has the ability to just say nope, and she presses ult, and this entire engage is completely denied. And with that happening, most teams just get completely obliterated. Hecarim trying to run down the Kayle, has a lot more damage, ult come back in 2 seconds, but it will not be enough, unfortunately. If Kayle could have gotten just this half a second more, then it would have been probably enough to turn the tides into her favor. But don't forget, like, Kayle is just a scaling champion, but there's one thing that's really risky for Kayle. It's just getting all in from fog. So if you don't have stasis or QSS, where QSS is a lot better, because stasis fundamentally lets you take 0 damage, but you have to use it preemptively. And you stand still, do nothing for like 2.5 seconds. Whereas QSS, you're allowed to ult. You see? Goes in. But the Kayle hasn't scaled yet. We just miss so much damage. Vladimir now pooling. Will not survive this. And the enemy team is just getting so much gold out of these plays by pushing these side lanes. Neglecting your side lanes is the go-to way of losing so much in this game. And as much as I like the idea of WildRift being a team game, in 99.9% of your games, WildRift will not be a team game and more like of a single player game where it's all up to you getting enough resources to carry the people you're with. And this Kayle survived for 19 days. Make Kayle great again. Make Kayle great again. Awakened Soulstealer must also be so good on this champion. Like, realistically speaking. Because if you think about this, no? Awakened Soulstealer as an item that's very infamous for, like, streaking. And Kayle should have an easy way of getting assists in a team fight with a W. That way she, like, secures herself more ways or more avenues of having impact due to an increased amount of ultimate abilities at her disposal. Because Kayle without ult isn't really a champion. Like, she just lacks what makes her like Kayle. Because being able, as a ranged champion, to deal full damage while being invulnerable to damage is an insane thing. And now, unfortunately, we lost our ultimate ability in that exchange, which is very costly for us. Jonathan takes care of the Camille. Flashing after here, Vladimir pooling, gets another kill. And Hecarim will probably run us down. Big healing coming through, big shielding healing. Seraphine doing her best to make us survive. But yeah, Jonathan will take care of the horsey. And it's just so sad. Like, I know Kayle shouldn't be in a state where she's broken. Because if that is the case, there'll be chaos only. Like, there'll just be chaos. You will not be happy witnessing that one. Poppy fighting the Camille for her dear life. Looks like she has Sunfire. And yeah, Camille is dead. Hecarim ulting in. We get a 1 HP ultimate on the Kayle. Poppy knocks her into the wall, but the Kayle is running for her life. Gets away, actually. Poppy to the rescue. Seraphine also popped Locket. Seraphine is just a healing fountain. She just walks around and heals people. And meanwhile, the Vladimir is in the side lane, just relentlessly pushing away at these turrets. Wave after wave after wave, and he gets stronger and stronger. The problem is, the enemy team has always a chance at winning because they have Vladimir. Vladimir in this game can genuinely one-tap the entire team if he gets strong enough. And depending on if he has Awakened Soulstealer, he has enough invulnerabilities with his pool to avoid the brunt of the enemy's incoming damage. Vladimir used ultimate here, super early, doesn't really achieve much. Morgana is getting more and more items, so Morgana actually becomes soon a valuable addition to the enemy's roster damage-wise. Because most people constantly forget that Morgana's puddle itself, it doesn't do much damage unless you have a lot of AP, and then it only does damage once the enemy loses HP because it has an execute modifier. And And Morgana is only valuable the moment she picks up, like, for example, Liandry's for her damage. If you want to be annoying, sure you can go Rylai's, but you will completely gut your own damage. The damage check is not being passed by the Hecarim. It is still Kayle at this point, so underestimating her is definitely something you do not want to do. And you saw like the ultimate ability of the Kayle. Like with the ult, she created herself so much of a window that her DPS was just freely like dished out. That is like the biggest part about Kayle. Because look, like right now, obviously she doesn't have it, so she just takes damage. Ooh, that was close. But just imagine like the ability to deal damage without having to fear for death. That is like, oh my god, was so close. That is like what AD carries dream of. Okay, Jonathan speedrunning. Look at him, he's... Oh, hell nah. This Jonathan was so angry. Oh my god. We just look away really fast. That Jonathan did not have a good time. Since our actually secures the dragon, Hecarim also dies. They just died for a dragon. Enemy doesn't have the Nexus Shield, Baron also spawning so soon, so Kayle's team gets such a free ride now again when it comes to the objective. Like, they can do anything they want. Vladimir being spotted, Kayle's ultimate available, Kayle DPS check. Unfortunately, the Kayle doesn't have the QSS, so she gets rooted and can't move for the next decade. And yeah, it would be very easy to just do Nashor. And my cat is meowing again. What's up? Oh, she's jumping around. Come, up. Whenever you're not on the lap, you're complaining. Classic. Classic cat behavior. Meanwhile, Jonathan tries to fight a dragon. Uh-oh. Oh no. Unnecessary risk taken. For zero reason they did this. Damn. There was like many poor macro decisions like in a row. Like many poor. Instead of just doing instant Baron, just goofing around, you know. Then splitting, doing Baron and Elder at the same time, giving the enemy an opportunity to steal, because if the enemy gets Elder at that point, Morgana's value is amplified by 10 billion fold. And if that happens, you're actually in a losable game, because Morgana's like puddle permanently applies the true damage. With that, they have enough wave clear and enough damage to deal with all of your team. And yeah, if Vladimir gets in for the burst combo, bad times. Really bad times. The buckler thrown into the face of the Morgana. She's struggling. Ooh. The one tap. Well, Pupa is zooming around as she pleases. Yeah. Walking up to a kill like this. I mean, if we're just completely honest, this was just an absolute clown show, no? Like, let's just be honest. This game, the level of gameplay provided by the enemy team choices and by most of KL's allies, has been very bad. And you've seen pretty bad gameplay on my stream, like seeing these things happening live in front of your eyes. Like actual crazy stuff going on. That's a lot of damage. Against Viktor, this should be so much harder. Lilia, any Eepers in chat? Okay, what is Lilia doing? Yeah, I can't really trade into the Viktor. Losing so much HP, but it's so funny that the minions trade back so equally. Minions in WildRift are so OP. But why is the Lilia starting on chickens? She'll be forced to recall after 3 camps, or she'll be out of mana. Or she'll have to do like a non-full clear. Yeah, Viktor auto-tech QW, life is over. Yeah, she skips kerxx. That's a big investment of gold. That's lost. Just lost. This matchup, Kayle really looked for more survival-oriented skills. Like, has a second ability on level 2. Has to recall. This wave is way too big. It will take a long time till it reaches the tower because of the next wave incoming. And dying with this wave, which is a genuine possibility depending on the jungle who might come, yeah, life is very tough. Okay, Lilia goes for a 4 camp clear into Scuttle. That is not a main jungle. That doesn't exist. Like, the only real times where you just adjust jungle pathing is due to invades, but if the enemy is a Gragas, yeah, the only strategy here would be support Gragas invading your chickens level 1. But given it's a Gragas jungle, as long as you have a ward there, it is fine. Because Gragas clear isn't that fast. Trying to avoid damage here. Wants to get the cannon. Gets the cannon, 65 to the pocket. Finally, we are a champion. Finally, ult. Viktor ults us immediately. Why? He just lost a massive damage tool for zero reason. But yeah, we get horrendously outtraded. One auto attack, Q auto attack is like our entire combo's damage. Hopefully Viktor is roaming to this fight, so we can full clear this here. Sadly he isn't. Oh, he is again. Need to be really careful. If we are hit, we just die. Hopefully the Lilia deals with the wave would be beautiful. Kayle's team looking very solid so far. Everybody like low-key winning on their own. It looks so sad when Kayle hits auto attacks, how little damage they do. Meanwhile, Viktor hits you for 19k every single time he walks up. It's depressing, honestly. Looks like a kill angle here. Flashes after, gets the kill. Might die to jungle here though. Actually doesn't. Buff respawning, every camp spotted, entire top side of Gragas is up, so if the Gragas makes a play on the Gnar right now, okay, you dead flash, yeah. He still has ult, just in case. Oh my god, nah. 9. That just didn't happen. Gragas now lost his flash, his ult, so Lilia can just play the entire top side if she wants to. There's nothing the Gragas can do anymore. Like, nothing. Lilia gets condemned by the Vayne, but she slapped him, so yeah. Gragas currently maybe on chickens, maybe on red buff. Lilia could check if she wanted to, because Gragas can't defend himself without spells, and he doesn't have ult, nor flash. Lilia doesn't even bother checking. It's very delayed. Gragas spotted. Auto attack, instant ult combo. We'll maybe trade 1 for 1. No, we don't. 1 HP. Senna doesn't hit the ultimate, unfortunately. But yeah. Slight champion differential. He even started Ruby Crystal here. Just to be a little bit tankier. Just to be a little bit tankier. Mr. Cannon -1. Turns around. The Viktor overchased. Didn't have the Kayle ultimate in mind. And then just sadly died. That is tough. Because you should never be able to die to a Kayle as a Viktor if you just follow the simple rules of just using your E on range, auto attack, Q auto attack, and once you have like the latest, like with every of your evolves, like E and Q, it becomes even more impossible for the Kayle to deal with you until she hits enough AP to kill you within one of her ultimate ability, like within her ultimate ability. Then it's a different story. And often it's also a thing, what many players do not do. They don't ult early. If you know that there's a lot of damage incoming, what you can do is you can just ult early and then have another full HP pool to deal with. Because if you ult late, trying to bait people, which can happen in a good way, which can go wrong, after this play ends, your entire game, like your entire play is now then over. Okay, Lilia. Why was she afraid? Infinity or Brush Lilia? Yeah, bro. Yeah. Yeah. You know, why have a passive that deals damage over time and automatically reapplies Leandre when you can have Infinity Orb? Yummy crit. And we die. Classic. It's just so weird to me. Like, some champions have such broken interactions with Leandre, and people just don't build it. Like, we have Teemo, we have Brand, we have Lilia. Is there any other damage over time centric champion? I mean, Morgana could count. And even, like, for example, Orianna and full tank teams where you can go Archangel and Leandre. It's just insane how much damage Leandre will do over the course of the game. I just wish you could check the damage numbers of items or heal cut of items so you can like showcase people how bad something is. We had like this what is it called? Revelation the moment we saw like OG Giant Slayer showing you the numbers, how much it did. At the same time, things like Mark of the Week, Coup de Grace, etc., were like borderline useless, are still useless, by the way. And but this time you have access to the statistics, to the actual numbers of what they do per game, and people still take them, even though they underperform to an insane degree. And that we still have loyalty as a rune is, I don't know. Like, I really don't. Yeah, but I'm curious to see what comes in 6.1. I saw some interesting posts about champion rebalancing. Like, Garen gets a change to his W, other champions get adjustments, Jax can jump to wards and stuff. But I'm really curious to see if there's like more, and if so, what it is going to be. And how like game breaking or game changing it is truly going to turn out. Gragas ult coming in, gets the steal here, Vayne dies, we flash over the wall, we are on the Viktor, Viktor gets over the wall with the blast cone, throws us away, flashes away, so we lose the ability to kill him. Would have been a nice double for us here. Unfortunately not the case. Nara running down the enemy team here. Oh, gets bombed by the Gragas. Viktor plays Luden Awakened. Okay, interesting combo. And Zhonya's. He will not have a good time. Ah, okay, but okay, look. Lilia goes for Infinity Orb, Riftmaker, and then Liandry, so she has 3 items plus boots without Rabadon, which is amplifying items like Liandry's immensely since, well, was it like every 100 AP, you deal 0.5% per second more. And since Leandry on your champion is applied for your entire passive duration plus Leandry duration, that's quite the damage change. Okay, Kayle now has her Daft Cap. I just really wish, or imagine, Riot would find a way to kill Kayle jungle and Nyla jungle, because fundamentally speaking, it's not OP, it's not even good, but due to how matchmaking and just matcher overall like work, they just get to late game every time and they have too much gold. Imagine I find a way to kill this, how many people would get so mad and so stuck because they, like, these champions promote just doing nothing and not even understanding what you're doing, just getting gold somehow. Because then at some point you don't even have to choose your fights anymore, you just run in. Senna connects the W onto the Gragas in the river, in the jungle. What rune page is Lilia playing? She seems like healing so little. Gragas lost flash. So now he can't realistically access anymore. As long as somebody is in the way, it's in, like, the Gragas can't enter. You can just try to throw ultimate and hope for the best. Doesn't happen. Okay. Gragas now unfortunately overextended, dies to Gnar. Vayne looking for an angle, can't really do anything, but the Kayle sees the wave. It's an enormous wave, like 10 billion minions. You see the amount of gold she just gained? I keep on preaching it, and people keep on forgetting that these waves are so important for pressure, for just generally money, like for everything. People just don't want to believe it. And now we see the point, you see? They are fighting. The Viktor couldn't force Kayle to ult instantly. Then she just runs him down. That is what happens. You can think of Kayle in the sense of Tryndamere, just she has the ability to actually deal damage to you while ulting, because Tryndamere most of the time has to ult while just running at people because he dies instantly. Kayle ult coming up in 25 seconds. I wonder. I really wish to see the stats on the fleet footwork for the Kayle this game, but I doubt we are going to see that one, unfortunately. Okay, we get CC chained, have to pop ult, get Seraphine ulted, but all the way. Everything is still fine. It's kind of tough that we do not have QSS and now we just die. Ah, the Viktor with the Awakened Sorcerer just ulted again. So much damage. So much magic damage. 60 minutes in, Lilia still doesn't have a Rabadon. That's, by the way, something you'd usually only do if you have to delay an item due to a specific need of anti-shielding. Otherwise, you would never really delay your Rabadon to, like, the 4th spot, because 3rd item Rabadon is way too powerful. Like, every item on Lilia has such an interesting way in which it just makes her stronger. Like, Riftmaker is insane due to the Omnivamp as well as the bonus damage, since she's a dot-centric champion. Then we have Liandry. She's a dot-centric champion, so the dot reapplies the Liandry effect every single time her passive ticks. And then Rabadon amplifying everything. Okay, Lilia fighting the Jax here. Jax jumping in, Gargoyle being popped, being slapped here. Gragas jumping in with the flash combo. Lilia still alive with 1 HP. The 80 carry nearly gets one tapped. He's honest on 1 HP. Gragas in the stasis himself gets the kill. Now Vayne running them down, proto-belting away, but there's no way we survive this. What enchantments are we taking? Are we just for funning it? Like true demons? Oh, Lilia can steal this. If she hits a good E... unfortunately. Because a good E at this stage takes away so much of the enemy's HP bar. Like, if you hit somebody at this stage with a Rabadon, it's probably 50% of the HP. No enchantment gaming. What the hell did I just witness? Won't reach, no? Ooh, flash. Yeah, okay. Oh, she does reach. One jungler dead, Elder on the table. It will all come down to the enemy team. Okay, Seraphine ult's wasted. I don't think the enemy team has a chance anymore. That was closer than it should have been. Kayle just chasing too far. Pops the ult, tries to get a kill, doesn't get the kill. 2 people alone there. Lilia on the hunt. You see Lilia running them down. 1 down. The Elder Dragon taking them down. Farewell. Yep. And that way, the game should end, no? Or is Gragas Faker incarnate? They actually don't then, that's insane. For some reason the game is, oh, nice insect. Pie the Gnar, they get a double kill with that. Jack stuck in side lane. Lilia stuck in front of the Nexus. Does Gragas have the tools to kill her? Yes, he has. Gnar also dies. They all overcommit. It's a game of throws, left and right. Now the next throw happens. And you see this happening in every region, every elo, all the time. It's simply what WildRift is. They can deny this though. Okay. Insta pop the ult. We'll trade 1 for 1. Damn. I don't think MF can actually go close. Like, she needs to be really careful about approaching. A good ult may be able to steal this. Yeah, no. Does the MF even have damage? Oh no, she doesn't. Like, look, this is what I mean, guys. Look, 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 look. She doesn't have a percentage armor pen item. Why? Like, a percentage armor pen item is just helping so much more. MF benefits also from crit, like all these things, and it just doesn't make any sense. Because, for example, if you remove the collector, like you have only 1 crit item, and replace it with the mortal reminder, you have more lethality on the mortal reminder due to it being 33% armor pen than you have on the collector, which is 10 lethality. But yeah, you see, it's very questionable choices of items. This happens all the time with everyone. Senna also refuses to go Runans. Very, very interesting choices, left and right. But what can you do? Enemy team with Nash above. This could be very close. Like, it's Viktor super late game. Kayle also super late game. But yeah, Viktor's range is insane. Just press ult and it's usually over. That is usually enough to just seal the deal. So ult coming in. Vayne in front has to flash away. Jax is pushing as good as he can. Walks too close though, will probably get caught. He has to flash and QSS. Gnar running the enemy down. 21 seconds until Elder spawns. Next wave mid lane needs to be cleared by... Okay, Viktor just one-tapped the tower. Kayle lost ultimate again. Gets one-shot by the Viktor here, no? Yeah. I don't really know what she's trying to do. I really don't. I really do not understand what she's trying to achieve here. Avoids certain death from the Gragas, turns around and gets one kill. Jumps in with the stun, survives. And the Elder burn. I mean, the target that ignited her already dies, so Elder dissipates from that one. Like, if you get attacked by a target that has Elder, the Elder will only have effect if they're still alive. If the target that applied Elder to you dies, you will not get executed. Even though your HP falls down, like, below the threshold. That is very, very important to know. So, because sometimes you might be confused, why does the target not die? Or, why did I die? And that is the answer to that question. A control ward and a dream. Seraphine walks close, Vayne is here as well. We protobelled away. Very interesting choices. Nice sidestep on the Seraphine, but this should be pretty much it now. Unless the enemy does something really sketchy again. Oh, they just walk in. Jax is in, completely alone. Tries to play for time, gets one-tapped. Viktor has the ult ongoing. But if the Viktor ult doesn't get a reset, it will just do nothing. The Gragas just jumped this target here. One target survives. Unfortunately, the Zhonya's was perfectly timed. And yeah, the body slam here. What a game of throws. Like, everyone is constantly throwing, misplaying the fight, trying to do too much. It is insane. It just doesn't stop. And they're shielding acquired by the Kayle. Gragas going in, trying to be a hero. Now Jax goes in, trying to be a hero. Everyone is trying to be a hero, and I'm getting more and more annoyed by both parties just literally running it down constantly. They just do not stop. Now the Viktor is somewhere in the brush, you see him on the minimap, so there's no reason to face check. I wonder if the AD carry is now going to walk into a brush and gets one shot or something. AD carry spotted, Viktor also spotted. Look, they look at each other on the minimap, you see it. Enemy now collapsing. This crown can make their life living hell, by the way. This crown, like these crowns, can make or break the fight, because if Gragas is allowed to just go in and not get immediately cancelled by anything, and goes into Zhonya's, like, this life is going to be so difficult, because Gragas damage at this point, like, Misfortune's Maw will not save her. Okay, Seraphine just griefed, but unfortunately, Kayle didn't really do damage to her. It's crazy. And now they have to face check into Elder, like Elder spawn, through like to Viktor while Jax is splitting. So this game is like it's impossible. Viktor is flashed after the Lilia. Lilia had to stasis as well. Jax pops the ult, tries to kill her, gets the kill. We somehow stole the Elder without Lilia even being there. Oh, again, Vayne tries to be a hero. Tries to flip the play there. When there's 10 people sitting around. Okay, sorry, that was too far. Yeah, that is unfortunate, because people completely get caught off guard by Senna mist. Because if you're within the circle, you're not visible. Like, you don't exist. Only if you're outside of that circle, you'll be seen as like a wraith. Many people don't know this. Flash in, Gragas goes into stasis here, will die, and they'll end the game, damn. And with that, we're at the end of this video, so thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and we will see each other for more content very soon. Don't forget to check out my partner's description below, and most importantly, if you want to win some free skins, add the accounts on the server of the zoo, and we'll see each other tomorrow. Bye bye.